We've got Oklahoma defensive tackle David Stone. Went into the portal, now is out of the portal. He's staying at Oklahoma. So that was not
a sooner bred, and when I die, I'll be sooner dead.
There you go. 5-star recruit, was a freshman last season, played some. They were hoping to, that he was going to take the next step in his evolution this year. So he will continue to play for Oklahoma, which you are very excited about. You think is going to be one of the more interesting teams in the country this season.
The SEC is fascinating this year, and I'm just a little tenor, but like I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot of the teams in the SEC this year to see, what they turn into. And like Oklahoma is a program that has a long storied history of being consistently good. And I think that the notion that they're going to stink this year because they weren't very good last year is a fool's errand. I don't know that means they're going to be great or against that schedule if they're going to go win 11 games, but I think they're going to be much better than they were last year and potentially a pain in the ass for everybody on their schedule.
Well, so, like an 8-4 or 9-3 Oklahoma is a problem for somebody who might be making the playoff.
If they go 8-4 or 9-3 against that schedule, I think that they belong on the same field as just about anybody in the sport. So
correct.
And here's the thing. I am very, very like if John Mateer would have gone to Miami, I would be like all in on Miami right now. Like where John Mateer went was going to move the needle for me because I watched a lot of him and I've watched a lot of him since. I don't think people appreciate how good he is yet.
Right. He's very good. They add Jaydn Ott. They're better on the offensive line because a lot of what the offensive line with Oklahoma was. They had guys that they'd signed out of high school who probably weren't quite ready yet, who are probably more ready now. And they messed up early in NIL. So their classes of 21 and 22. So like when Texas was loading up on really good offensive linemen out of high school, Oklahoma was not handling NIL properly. They were not making the kind of offers you need to make to get those guys. And so they basically punted on 2 classes of offensive linemen. Offensive linemen are not microwavable, ready products. Jordan Seaton came in and started at Colorado right away. Most of them can't. So you've got to develop them. I do think they're going to be better. I think it's they've had some time now for the 23 classes and the 24 classes to develop. And then we'll see receiver. It sucks that Giovanni Gibson got hurt.
Oklahoma quarterbacks last year, Michael Hawkins Jr. and Jackson Arnold, only threw for more than 200 yards twice in a football game all year. As we talk about Michigan's offense being fractured, Oklahoma's offense was pretty fractured, maybe for different reasons, because I don't know that it was completely incompetent quarterback play, but I think it was obviously a rash of injuries, but also weak offensive line play. And the 2 games that they threw for more than 200 yards were against Maine, which doesn't count. And then the other one was against South Carolina, and they lost 35-9.
Yeah, they threw for 200 yards because South Carolina had a huge lead and was just sitting on it the whole game.
Right. So, and then here's the thing, though. They only were not in 3 games this year that they played. They were in every game that they played. And one was to Texas, one was to South Carolina, and the other one was to LSU, which were, fairly good to great teams. So if they were a complete dumpster fire last year, which is, losing, what was it, 7 games last year? I think that they could lose 3 or 4, be much improved, and beat teams that people don't anticipate Oklahoma could beat this year. So they are much better from a personnel standpoint than they were last year. I thought they were competitive in most games that they played, despite the fact that they were completely killed by injury. They are a team that I would buy into. So, and I think Brent Venables is a good coach. I know people think he stinks right now, and like everybody thinks that what happened last year is true forever, but like I don't think he's a bad coach. So, I'm not a Oklahoma truther, but I think that they have a shot to do something this year that people aren't on anyone's radar right now.
Well, and that's the thing. There's a lot of that in the SEC, and then there's a lot of teams that we're assuming are going to be playoff teams. And
some of those teams, Andy, will be bad. Some of them will be bad. Like, I mean, between Florida, Oklahoma, Alabama,
Auburn,
like some of these teams are going to be bad, but some of them are going to
some of them are going to be surprisingly good. You and I have said we think Auburn could be very good this year.
Yeah.
And
maybe Auburn will be terrible and Oklahoma will be good, or Oklahoma will be terrible and Auburn will be really good. But like, they're not all going to just stink again.
Correct. Exactly. There will be some changes. And that's the fun part.